If you want to know exactly which clicks turn into sales, you have to set up conversion tracking the right way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up purchase events within Google Tag Manager so that you can understand which clicks turns into purchases. The first thing that we're going to do is go to your Google Ads account. We're going to come to Goals Summary, and then we're going to click Create Conversion Action. If you don't have your Google tag in your website, that's the first thing that we want to do. Another thing to keep in mind, this interface is new because Google has upgraded the interface and how it just looks for some accounts. This message, welcome to a simpler conversion measurement setup. It's basically, they're trying to make it a little bit less intimidating for marketers. If your interface still looks different, some of the accounts that I manage, they still have the old interface. Don't worry, they work similarly. And actually you can check my previous video, which I have added into the description, that walks you through how to set up conversion tracking for a lead form. Now, in my case, I already have the Google tag in the website that we're going to create the purchase event for. But if you don't, you will be able to do it here. You will scan your website, see if it has it or not. Then from there, you can actually create the tag and set up the code in your website. Another way that you can do that is coming into Tools and heading to Data Manager. And then over here on the Google tag, you can click Manage and then install manually and basically getting here the code. Copy that code and you set it up in whatever website builder that you have. It's very easy. You can also Google how to set up that in your website, but it is a very simple step. Okay, so we're going to go back to creating our conversion action. So we are going to leave this as it is and click Save and Continue. And now we're going to click Purchase. So here we're going to click Purchase. So that means when someone completes a purchase or checkout flow in our website. And we are going to set this up. There are two ways that are giving us an option. One is manually using code, and the second part of it is using a URL when a conversion is completed. So you can do something like a page load or form submission, and let's say that we had a thank you page. When there is a purchase completion, you can actually add it in there, and you would basically use URL contains and then just do that. There are other settings that I'm going to walk you through because that are actually very important. So the first thing that we have to decide is the action optimization. That means, is this a primary action used for bidding optimization? Do we want to optimize our campaign for a purchase or not? Usually a purchase is the ultimate goal, so that would be your primary action. And something like add to cart or checkout, those are still very important, but they might be secondary in your account. So yes, we want to also drive those conversions, of course, because those need to happen in order to get the purchase. But we do not want necessarily Google to be optimizing our campaigns for those specific events because they are lower priority. The same thing if let's say that you had a lead form and a purchase, like you might want to still track leads, but the purchase is the ultimate goal. So that's what you would actually choose as primary. Then we get to add a name here. We provide a value. So this is actually important because in most cases it's going to be dynamic. If you have an e-commerce website with different products, maybe you are selling courses, you have different values for your courses, those are going to be different. But if it's the same, let's say that you only had one type of product that you're selling, then you would actually add in here the value of it. That is something that you can always update. The second part of it is the count, which is, do we want to track this event once or do we want to track it every time it happens? Let's say that a person purchases 4 products in your website. Do we want to count each one as a conversion or we only want to count one? And the reality is that we should count each one as a conversion because each one is a purchase, right? So in e-commerce and for purchases, we actually want to do every. Now, if you watch my previous video on how to do it for lead form, we only wanted to record one conversion because we don't want to necessarily be collecting multiple times the same email and contact information. Okay, so we're going to keep that as it is. And then here we actually decide the click-through conversion window. So this is basically if someone clicked on your ad, went to the website, and then didn't convert right away, and then within 90 days made a purchase, Google will actually attribute it into your campaign. And so that is how it works with the click-through conversion window. The longer the decision making for the purchase is, the longer the time period that we want to use. So for example, if you're selling products that are worth like thousands of dollars, let's say some type of software, you might actually want to use in the 90 days. A lot of times, in a lot of cases, we go with 60 days or 30 days for something. The price point is a lot lower, but there is nothing wrong to start with 90 days and then adjust. Same thing here. So for the engage view conversion window, so select how long to track conversions after a video engagement. If someone watches a video from your YouTube campaign, do we want to attribute the purchase if 3 days pass or not? And you again can select that. The view through conversion. So this is like the maximum time after the person views your ad that you want to count view through conversion. So here again, we can always adjust and like increase if we want to attribute that based on, again, someone, this is more an impression. They didn't necessarily engage or view like your actual video, but they were served an impression. How long after that, if they convert, do we want to attribute it to the campaign? And so as you can see, it becomes like less and less. So someone that came to your website and interacted with your content but didn't purchase right away, we might say, okay, we can attribute it 90 days. For someone that only watched your video but didn't do anything else, the window gets a little shorter. And then for someone that just was served an impression, if it takes 90 days and they come and purchase, likely it's not because of your ad, because that was just an impression. Then we have attribution. So all these other options are no longer available, but data-driven is the ability to actually use all your conversion data to calculate the actual contribution of each ad to that conversion path, right? Like to the optimal results. And then this part of it, enhanced conversion, we're not gonna worry about this because this is completely separate, but it's basically like with the new privacy and cookies and people being able to opt in and opt out, there are the ability to set up enhanced conversions in your account. But for this video, we're not going to worry about this. Okay, so I'm gonna click done. And I actually gonna go back and do this because this is what we are actually doing. And we're gonna keep all of this stuff the same. And yeah, so we're gonna click all stuff the same. So again, we can decide what is the value that we want to give each one. We'll keep this and I'm gonna do done. And then I'm going to put save and continue. And now we have to set it up. So we could go with the setup with Google Tag, which basically is, we'll take this event snippet and we're gonna add it into our page. We're gonna add it in the confirmation or thank you page when someone actually purchases. Or the second option, which is my favorite, and I think honestly the easiest, is using the Google Tag Manager. The reason for that is because you can track a lot of different events and manipulate them and make them changes in Google Tag Manager without having to add more and more code into your website. So that is why it's my favorite. So to do this, what we're going to do first is, this is what we are going to care about, is this and the conversion label. And we're going to open a Google Tag Manager account, which we're going to jump into right now and start working on it. If you have a new Google Tag Manager account, it's going to look like this. And the very most important part that you will have to do is actually add this code into your website. So I already have, as you can see here, both the Google Tag Manager as well as the Google Tag. But if you don't, you're going to want to set it up on the header. And when you create your Google Tag account, it's basically, you're going to see the snippet of code and it's going to walk you through, okay, take this and put it basically on the header of the page and what you have to add on the bottom. Now, the very first thing we want to do is create a conversion linker. So I'm going to click here, conversion linker, and I'm going to do this, all pages, and that's it. I'm going to here basically say conversion linker. You have to just do it once, that's it. It's done. Now we're gonna set up our purchase event. We're gonna click New, Tag Configuration, Google Ads Conversion Tracking, and we are going to take from our Google Ads conversion ID and the conversion level. Perfect. So as you can see, this is basically showing up. I'm going to put create tag, and automatically it's pulling the tag that I have in the website. So if I go back here, again, it's the same. So I will just do save. That's all I have to do. Great, so that's set up. And now is the fun part. So because it's e-commerce and we need to track the value of the purchase, especially if we want to use bid strategies like max conversion value, that is something that we want to do. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to click here, plus, here, data layer variable, e-commerce, the value, and then here it's going to say value. And I believe that worked great. So now we are going to do the transaction ID. So I'm going to come here, again, data layer variable, commerce, the transaction ID, and then here, save. So as you can see here, it's basically saying this already exists, so I don't need to create a new one. So I'm going to find it in here. Transaction ID, done. And then the currency. I might already have that one as well. I do. But otherwise, if I was creating that one, basically it would be the same. So I will go here, data layer, variable, and then I will do e-commerce. Commerce. And then here will be currency. That's it. And then I will put currency here. Okay, cool. Let me find again currency. Oh, I guess I already have it. Now that we had set up our tag, we are going to add the trigger. So this is going to be a custom event. I already have it. I created already, but basically is custom event. It contains, in my case, is purchase because that's the word. So I'm going to select that and then click save. And that is it. I had set up my tracking using Google Tag Manager. Now, the next thing I want to do is preview. So basically, I want to actually see if when I complete a purchase, this tag fires, and then I'm going to submit it. Basically, we can see here that yes, the tag is connected and you can start the whole purchase for the product. Once the purchase is complete, basically you're going to be able to see here the different tags that have fire. I didn't complete the purchase and therefore this has not, but once you do, it will fire. It's super, super simple to set up, and I think it's like a great way to, again, use Google Tag Manager to facilitate and make it easier the purchase tracking. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please click subscribe if you learned something new, and let me know what other videos you want me to create.